This is the Spurs Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Antonio Spurs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Is it time to get excited yet? I don't know. But what I do know, history tonight in San Antonio, and perhaps really the most unexpected of fashions, certainly if you're looking at it from an age standpoint, a youth standpoint. Welcome into the Spurs Postcast here on Locked On Spurs. As always, your team, every game, every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You guys are the ones that drive this. You guys are the reasons that we are doing things like postcasts and squad shows and all this fun stuff. Your engagement, your involvement. We appreciate you. We love you. And again, moments like tonight are part of the reason why we're doing this. Your enthusiasm as everyone is feeling here in San Antonio. I'm merely Casey Viera. That is UTSA Hall of Famer, former NBA champion, Devin Brown. My friend, they are buzzing. There is history in San Antonio because for the first time, the Spurs team is 5-0.
Hey, 5-0. Congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs, the organization. A lot of great players have come through here. History happens tonight, 5-0. Congratulations to Wemby and his teammates on a great night.
And that's exactly what...
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yep, and that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow as well. The fact that maybe this team now is starting to look ahead of schedule. It's easy to pick things that say, okay, yeah, they nitpick, they beat Toronto, but they're not very good. They beat Brooklyn, they're not very good. All those things. But tonight, something real concrete, a Miami Heat team coming into San Antonio, putting up $131 a night. That was the most in the league. Contrarily, the Spurs coming in with the best defense in the league, entered tonight at 104. So something had to give between these two squads. Something had to give, and then collectively, the game kind of played out a little bit according to such. Spurs going up by double digits. They're up by 1.5, going up by double digits in the at the end of 3 quarters of play. For a fourth quarter, turned things sideways, and we're getting a feeling of like, okay, this is what the Toronto game was. This is what the Brooklyn game was. But tidying things up when it mattered, Devin, is part of the reason why it had the same outcome as the Toronto and Brooklyn games.
Right.
And part of the reason why, this is a big win over a good team.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to your first point of, nitpicking that a lot of us in the media are doing. And we're just going to give credit, tonight. Casey, I just want to say this. Wemby's got these guys playing right now at a level that's very surprising. And, it goes to what Jeff said in our first squad show about Wemby kicking, the punching bag and setting a tone. And that was in the summer. And there's a lot of things that are going into that as far as what he's doing to start the season. And, as far as, and we'll get into the negative stuff later, but, this 5-0, history, part about it with some of the great teams that I've been on and the great teams that we've seen out of the Spurs it's very surprising that this is the first 5-0. And a credit to these guys for just finding a way to win. And, let's just sit back and enjoy this, like for 30 seconds, right? Before we get into all the nitty gritty. But, just Wemby has man, you can go up and down the roster with who's playing well, but congratulations, just to Wemby for the tone that he's setting for this basketball team.
Yeah, some of the final numbers in this 107-101 victory, which is the low through the first of 5 games that Miami has played so far. Wemby, 27-18, 6 assists, 5 blocks. Castle, 21-6, 21 points, 6 boards, 8 assists, 4 steals. Vassell had 17. Harper, 13 and 4. Keldon Johnson had 11 points. Spurs collectively as a whole, 44% from the field, but the big number, 11 turnovers. Bam Adebayo, the high man on the Miami side, had 31 and 10. The turning point of this game, Devin, coming in the midst of what was a brutal stretch, a familiar stretch. Miami opens the third quarter down 15, but they go on a 17-1 run. They turn the tide for the better. And as a result, the Spurs do create our turning point tonight.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So they went 5 minutes essentially without a field goal to start the fourth quarter. The Spurs did. Ended up going on a quick 8-2 spurt, spearheaded by a Devin Vassell go-ahead three and a Victor Wembanyama back-to-back threes. Timeout Miami, 97-92. The advantage turned to Spurs. Didn't give it back from there. Again, another fourth quarter that had everyone holding their breaths. It wasn't immaculate, but they get it done. And it's just, again, a little bit of everybody doing the job.
Yeah, let's talk about our turning point. Spurs obviously, doing some great things out there, and they're going to play their type of basketball and, give up the lead a little bit. But, kudos to them for staying with it, able to win the game. But I like that last point that you said about it coming from everywhere, because it's coming from everywhere. And a guy that I keep an eye on, Champagnie, what he finished with, Casey? 2?
He had 2 tonight.
Hey, listen, that's me going out and getting 1. And you going out and getting 1.
I was going to say that's only 2 more than I had tonight.
Yeah, no. And I had to run my son to flag football, and I did more out there than that. But here's my point and why I say that.
Okay. Because
it came from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It came. My phone's acting up. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
No, I actually thought it was from the locker room. Stop talking negative about us. I thought it was the players. So here's the thing. It's coming from everywhere, like you said. So many contributions. Devin Vassell, you can argue with me on this. I'm going to say besides Castle, because you need a 1-2 punch. Castle and Wemby have been the 1-2 punch. But I'm talking about your 2B. Mm-hmm. Okay? Your 2B.
I like
who's
that.
Been your guy that's been, because those guys are going to get the praise, right now. But who's been your guy that's been the most consistent? Vassell.
In that 2B spot?
In that exactly. 2B spot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Devin. So, he hit a big 3 in that 8-2 run that you mentioned. And, of course, Wemby hit a big 3. In transition, got the left planted, then came with the right. What size shoe is he, Casey? About 13, 14?
Victor or Vassell?
No, Victor.
Victor, 13.
Yeah, 13, 14?
31. I'm 6 feet tall. I have a size 12 shoe.
No, hold on. Did you say 31? I know Victor ain't no 31.
I'm saying there's a better chance 31 than 13 because I wear a size 12. And
Casey, I'm 6'5". I got a 14 on.
Okay, so
that's 6'5".
Yeah, Wemby's got a bigger foot than you then.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying, first of all, that 6'5" was for financial purposes. Okay. So what I'm saying is my 6'5", 14. So he's 7'5".
So you're got it. Okay, I understand you now.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah.
So my point is, he stepped that right foot in there, knocked it down. Spurs pull it out in the end, and 5-0, first time in history.
That it is. All right. On the other side, after we get done figuring out what we're wearing on our feet over here, going to piggyback a little bit more off these I don't want to say the negative, but things that could hold this team back, how they fix it, and looking ahead to the West Coast road swing. That coming up in a little bit more on the Spurs postcast. San Antonio tonight moving to 5-1, defeating the Heat 107-101 to move to 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. While we take a breath, and while you take a breath, catch your breath amid all that, want to talk to you about a couple of our friends. Oh, I mean, I'm winded thinking about Peloton right now. And It's only fitting that was the first ad that popped up because, yeah, I like incorporating different aspects of different workouts into my routine. And recently I've been trying to get into Peloton, and this is more the reason too. They got this cross-training Tread Plus that's out and about right now. It's their most advanced equipment yet, designed to give you real-time guidance, endless ways to move, running, lifting, cross-training, whatever you're doing. All your favorite instructors, you know how they operate. The training is reimagined. You know that by now, and it only gets deeper and deeper and more fun and better, built for the breakthroughs with the tools that help you plan and stay motivated and hit that peak performance that we're all looking for. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push forward, explore the new Peloton Cross Training Plus today at onepeloton.com. That is ONE Peloton.com. Pivoting a bit, talking about the business owners that are checking in tonight following the Spurs victory. If you are a business owner, I got a hard truth for you. SaaS promised to make work easier for you, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of these apps, slowing down teams. It just doesn't work together. That's not SaaS. That's sad. Software as a disservice. And that's why you're going to need Rippling. It's a unified platform with global HR, payroll, IT, finance. You get it all in one place, helping millions of businesses replace a mess of these, disconnected tools, one system at a time, to give leaders the clarity and the speed and control, all that stuff that they're looking for. So right now you get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. Learn more at rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. We'll take care of you. You're going to get 6 months free. And finally, going to talk to you about Robinhood tonight. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in on every opening, beating your PR, and beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks, ETFs, futures, crypto, options, all in one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All right. Always money when we bring my dear friend, Mr. Devin Brown, back as we continue to talk about this 107-101 victory tonight for the Spurs over the Heat to move to 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. A lot of good, but a lot of things that need to be tidied up, because the 17-1 run, and in fairness, I will be fair, because we talked about blown leads against Brooklyn. We talked about blown leads against Toronto. And what come back to, we said Brooklyn and Toronto, those are not playoff teams. When it comes time to do this against a playoff team, they're going to be in trouble. It's not the elite Miami Heat, but it's a playoff caliber team, Miami Heat. And the Spurs, they blew the lead. Another fourth quarter struggle. But in this sense, if we're going to be critical, you got to be complimentary, right? Again, they showed up, they bounced back, they struggled in the fourth. Mitch did a great job adjusting once again. And for the third straight game, despite the ugly starts in the fourth quarters, they walked away with a win.
Yeah, Casey, let me just reassure you, that they
reassure me.
The fans watch us because we are so honest. Okay, so they love us, right? We're gonna give them the good and the bad and everything. So here we go. So we're gonna talk about some of the woes and what you're not seeing. It's the ball movement. It's the late on rotations, things like that. I love the point that you're saying about Miami, but you got to understand their culture. All right. As long as you're healthy,
you're out.
You're going to play. Yeah. All right. And you're going to, and that's what Coach Spo does. That's why everybody loves playing for him, is he's going to put you out there. You might not have been out there in 5 or 10 games, but he's going to give you an opportunity trying to find that rhythm for the night. He doesn't have these set ways like some of these coaches have. I've played for some guys that, not only with the Spurs, but affiliated with the Spurs. I mean, they have the minutes you're playing down to a T. So, if you're going to play 9 minutes and 53 seconds, you won't get anything over that. I don't care how many points you have.
No, it's true.
Well, unless you're LeBron James, that's different. But we won't get into that. So anyway, we're going to go back to our fourth quarter. Well, so the thing that I love about what the Spurs are doing is they're answering it. Okay? And as long as they continue to do that, It's fine. But what about that cold night in Memphis
Mm-hmm.
when you do give that up and
Right.
you lose that game? Okay. Yeah. So there's certain tests that I'm looking for the Spurs to pass the Warriors. Can you do that against the Warriors? No.
And yeah.
So there's certain tests that I'm looking for them to pass. But right now, Casey, we're good. 5-0, history tonight.
You can only play who's in front of you, right?
That's right.
You can only play who's in front of you, and they took advantage of that. But that's a good point that you bring up, because the tests are only going to get harder. And a test of doing that, like you said, a cold night in Memphis, you're not going to have 18,000 people chanting "Go Spurs, go" behind you like they did tonight. That's a contributing factor. And now the West waits. No, probably not in all likelihood. Though the Wemby growing brand, as we know, that you see one jerseys just about everywhere now. You see green afros for Sohan and just about everywhere you go now. But thinking about, I guess, potentially Sohan, theoretically, because we don't know if we're going to see him, but the Western Conference, 2 big road games on deck. Phoenix, again, not the Suns team that has been in recent years, but still Devin Booker is an elite basketball player. Right. The Lakers, goes without saying, even though LeBron's not there. Luka's fantastic. Austin Reeves is playing at an all-star caliber level. How does this translate? How does this move to 6-0 to keep that energy going? Because things change, teams pivot, it's basketball, it adjusts. How does this carry over to the West Coast?
All right, here we go. We're Phoenix, the Suns, love the Suns. Love them since Charles Barkley was there, right? So it's called Death Valley. So everything goes there to don't have to finish the rest. Everybody knows that. Hey, they're going to be looking to end it. Okay. Now, you're going to have to really keep pace. Phoenix is playing at a higher pace this season. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no, hey, Devin Booker's going to be him. Where's his Robin? Things like that. Devin's playing well right now. He's going to play well. He's going to shoot the ball a lot, and he's going to try and take down this 5-0 by himself. Now, Casey, let's look ahead. Think about this. Spurs get to 6-0.
Okay.
Now they're in LA. You know the history. You know the history between the Spurs and the Lakers. There's going to be some stars in there. Some stars. Are the Spurs mature enough right now, early in the season, to handle what could potentially happen around the first 15 seats of that arena? Crypto.
You can make a case that you say that. If they go into that game 6-0, that might be the biggest game of Victor Wembanyama's career.
No doubt. Because I'm talking about what are those tickets going to go for?
I hadn't thought of it like that.
Star-wise.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that. But you can make the case that if they go into LA 6-0, which is very realistic, that's the biggest game of Victor Wembanyama's career. Someone commented the Kardashians going to be there. Sorry.
Listen, you might get Eddie Murphy out there. Eddie Murphy. He only goes to one game every 5 years.
Yep. This rate, I'm going to have to do the show solo next Tuesday, because Devin's going to be out there too.
Where?
In LA.
No, man.
You're going to fly yourself out there.
No. Okay, so Devin's a head coach now.
Yeah, that is true.
My first game's on Monday. I have film Tuesday.
Okay.
Until the start of the Spurs game. And then I got to leave there, come here and watch them play in LA.
Got it. So thanks for the invite, Bus family. Thanks for the invite, LeBron. I just can't make it.
Can't make it?
Can't make it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, listen. Again, you can only play who's in front of you.
Yes.
And the Spurs are taking advantage of it. I don't want to say I'm not surprised, because I am surprised they're 5-0. But I saw at the start of the year that this was a very feasible task that they could do, that they could open the season with a better record in their first 10 than not, a 6-4, 7-3. Even then, they're out kicking that coverage. They are doing things right now that looks ahead of schedule. This West Coast road trip, even though it's only 2 games, it's 2 games. I love all those things that you're saying because it goes beyond the team that they're playing on the other side of the floor, because they're playing with an element of eyes on them, an element of relevance. You know what I mean? They haven't played that for over a half decade. The franchises, if you want to put it bluntly, the team's been irrelevant. If we're being honest, if you put it bluntly, the team's been irrelevant. This is the first time in 5 years plus that this team has been in a spot playing this well, going into a marquee game, and you can put the word relevant in that same conversation.
Right.
So I don't think it's hyperbole to say that if they win against Phoenix, this game in LA is the biggest of Victor Wembanyama's career.
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with you with saying that. I mean, young man hasn't been in that many big games. I thought tonight was a big game for him, because if you look at all the media coverage of what everybody's saying about San Antonio, they hadn't played anybody. So you get the perfect opponent in Miami. Everybody that's affiliated with the NBA, everybody that's played in the NBA, you know what Miami is about. If you're hurt, you go through an hour and a half stuff on the bicycle. Like, you don't want to be hurt in Miami. Everybody knows this. When you're out there getting your pregame shots, you see the guys that are hurt doing sprints with cast on their arms. You don't want to be in Miami. It's just a different culture. So test number 1 was the Miami Heat. Hey, and they did a great job. They did a great job. Casey, I've been meaning to tell you this since we started, but just know this from here on out. Everybody in the NBA makes a run. So remember I told you that because,
gotta write it down.
I'm saying what Coach Mitch is saying in the locker room is different from what we're
today's date, the 30th.
Yeah. Because what Mitch is saying in the locker room is different than what we're saying, because they may go, well, you know what? They made their run. We withstood it. We won the game. Let's move on. You see what I'm saying? Whereas we'll harp on it.
Got it.
I just want you to know that. So,
admittedly, when I wrote that down, I thought it was in the sense of like a team win-loss perspective, make a run. So I really dramatized that much more than it needed to be.
You're good. But what I'm saying is that as a player, hey man, this team's not going to play dead all day. Like, they're going to get going. That's my point. So a lot of teams do that. Like, they'll start off sluggish and then boom, here you go. And can you stop them at some point? Or do they just continue? So, and especially with, nowadays with the way they're playing in the NBA, you brought up a great stat, and I'm surprised you hadn't mentioned it. The Spurs held the Heat to 101, and they've been averaging what, Casey?
131.
131. Wow.
Yep. I think that's a collective reaction.
Hey, and Casey, that's not all Wemby. That's everybody.
Yeah. But unfortunately, for show purposes, we got to narrow it down to one guy.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Cue it up. Who is it tonight, my friend?
Hey, Wemby. We got to go with Wemby. Wemby's numbers were all over the place. He did a great job. Again, congratulations to him leading this basketball team. First time 5-0. Congratulations, San Antonio Spurs.
Every time you say that stat, it really is remarkable, because it's just amazing to think that that never happened. But it happened. And it happened tonight in the Frost Bank Center. Spurs winners tonight, 107-101, behind another masterful showing from Victor. 27 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks. Just call it a Thursday at the office. All right, that's going to put a bow on things for this get-together of Devin and I. Be sure to come back Sunday at Phoenix. Like we said, 6 o'clock tip time. You know where you're going after the game. You're coming right back here on Locked On Spurs, and we're going to talk about all the happenings, for better or worse, and we're going to have fun doing it. As always, with the Locked On Spurs family and the Locked On Podcast Network, we thank you for for your engagement all the time. You're the ones that drives this show, that makes this job fun, that makes it a lot of fun. And it's even that much more fun when the team's winning, because we get to share that enthusiasm with you. We're continuing to grow here, and all the support that we've had just through the first 5 games of the season. It's been awesome. And I don't often speak for Devin, though I think this is like the second time I've ended a show like this, but I speak for him when I say your support has been awesome, and we look forward to sharing the season the rest of the way for you. So that said, for my dear friend, Mr. NBA champion Devin Brown, my name's KC Viera. Spurs winners tonight, 107-101. San Antonio 5-0 for the first time in franchise history. Talk to you on Sunday.